So is there still benefit to humor at work?
Yes. So I want to demystify the belief that this is about being funny. I know that that's sort of that happens, and it is nice, but a lot of people get caught up on this idea that this is about being funny. And most of the senior leaders that I work with don't consider themselves to be funny, don't want to be funny. It doesn't seem like a business imperative. It seems like something that you do at home, not at work. And so I want to demystify this belief that this is about being funny. It's really about accessing joy more easily and showing that you have a sense of humor. And absolutely, there's incredible ROI to, especially as a leader, showing that you have a sense of humor. So the course that we teach in the business school at Stanford, we often start with a couple of quick stats. So leaders with a sense of humor, and this is any sense of humor, George, not even a good sense of humor, just you have a sense of humor, are seen, just attempting, even smiling helps, are seen as 27% more motivating. Their teams report being about 15% more engaged, and they're about twice as likely to solve a creativity challenge. And this is, there's also a wealth of benefits when it comes to feeling more connected to colleagues. So yes, there is a wealth of benefit for humor today.
Well, at EntreLeadership, we always talk about how business moves at the speed of trust. And when you have that approach of you're smiling, you're excited to be there, you're making an attempt, you're trying to work together, it really does build trust. How have you seen that happen with the executives you worked with working at inmates at the county jail, all of the incredible work you've done? What's the relationship between trust and humor?
Yeah. So I'll tell a quick story from early in the pandemic. So this is a CEO that we work with, who we actually teach with at the business school at Stanford. He's the co-CEO of Merit America. And it was in his first couple of months of being co-CEO, and it was early 2020. So just the start of many people in the US going into quarantine during the pandemic. It was a super scary time. It was a tense time. And the entire organization is looking at this brand new leader, saying, okay, what do I think of you? Do I trust you? And there's no interpersonal connection, right? It's everyone's on Zoom. So Connor joins his first ever all hands call with his organization, and on Zoom, right? So normally all 150 people are in a room together. Is on Zoom. He says his remarks, and he has that moment that we all have experienced where he's talking and he realizes, oh my gosh, my remarks are totally falling flat. This is not working. How do I actually build trust in this moment? And so he passed it off to his co-CEO to speak. But when he did, he intentionally left his screen share on. And so the entire organization was watching terrified as Connor closed his PowerPoint slide, opened up a Google search, and typed in things inspirational CEOs say during hard times. And everyone lost it. Everyone started laughing. But what was really interesting, right? It's this beautiful moment of genuine vulnerability, right? He's saying, I actually genuinely don't quite know what to say right now. And he's sort of putting that on display. But he got so many emails from employees afterwards saying things like, that was the first time I saw a screen full of smiles. And then I feel safer to bring my own vulnerability to work. Like, thank you so much for modeling that. And he felt like it sparked this shift in the organization of feeling more connected to him and feeling like they could bring more vulnerable, hard things to him. I remember Dick Costolo, former CEO of Twitter, visited our class at Stanford, and he said, the most important thing I do as a leader is break down the status barrier, because there's an incredible trust barrier that comes with status, which means that my employees aren't going to come tell me the bad news. They're not going to be transparent with me about the things I need to know. And for him, humor was one of the most effective ways to break down that status barrier and foster trust.